Well, we've all seen it. People fall away from the religion. Then once they have kids, they start going to services again.
Tonight, we're considering questions about kids and religion. Is faith important? Can parents push too hard? We went searching for answers.
It's something that you believe in.
Last week, I sat down with a group of first graders.
They're students at the International School of Minnesota.
Raise your hand if you go to a place of worship like a church or a mosque or a synagogue.
About half the kids raised their hands.
Then Amelia asked a different question.
Do you all believe in God?
These 6-year-olds don't just believe, they like God.
God is kind of nice because he brings people healthiness. I really like God because he made our whole world. I love God.
If you could ask God anything, what would you ask?
To give me $1,000. Help other people who don't have money, give them more money. I forgot.
The questions aren't over. I mean, come on. These are kids after all.
How do you create people? How did you create the world? How did you create everything in the whole entire universe?
Some of those are the earliest questions, why and where and how. And, of course, the big question, who made God?
Carol Dittburner is the Director of Religious Education at St. Francis Cabrini Catholic Church in Minneapolis.
How many gods did the Romans have?
Hundreds.
For 27 years, Carol's been teaching kids about Catholicism using Maria Montessori's hands-on approach.
God saw that it was good.
If you want to teach your kids about God and religion, what do you think the best way to do it is?
By example. The best thing is to always include your children when you go to worship, when you go to church, when you say your prayers.
We know people who, when they were younger, they had it sort of shoved down their throats. You have to go to church every Sunday, go to catechism. Is it possible to actually overdo it?
Yes, definitely. Anything that's really forced in a negative way on the child can always backfire. So it's better to have it be a very natural thing, a part of your family life, something you all do together.
What about letting them find their own way? Can kids choose religion on their own?
It's not really recommended. I know some people feel in the freedom of choice that should be one of them, but it's better if a child has a foundation in a faith, and when they get older, then they have a place to jump off from, so to speak.
We wanted an academic perspective, too, so we asked family social science professor Bill Doherty.
Those things that we believe we should pass on. And if you're not involved in organized religion, then explain why you're not.
God helps us.
The kids we talked with seemed to find comfort in the idea of God.
I think he checks on everybody just to make sure they're all right. When you get hurt, God will heal your area.
Children are very keen on praying for people.
I say, can you help other people?
Who's sick, whose cat died, who's pregnant.
Can you help my friend?
They pray for everything.
And help me?
Learning empathy, sympathy.
Compassion. The traits that we most hope children will have.
I think God really wants me to help people.
Even if you raise your kids to follow your faith, there's no guarantee they will.
I know one thing people say to me when their young adults leave the church is, well, at least they're good people. You know, like the bottom line is that we've raised good people.
So is it okay to make your kids go to church or synagogue or mosque? Well, Bill Doherty thinks so. He says it's like school or the dentist. Kids don't get a choice.
But as your kids get older, it's more important that they buy into it to avoid fights with mom and dad. It'll help if they take part in youth group activities at your place of worship.